Tonight, federal agents have executed one of the largest coordinated takedowns in history.
4:17 a.m. O'Fallon, Illinois. The first snowflakes touched frozen asphalt. Street lamps cast pale yellow light on empty loading docks. Diesel engines hummed low. A radio crackled. Execute. Flashbangs exploded. Metal doors buckled under battering rams. Floodlights turned darkness into daylight. FBI and DEA agents moved through smoke with tactical precision. Boots struck concrete. Commands echoed off warehouse walls. Inside, silence shattered. This was not a routine bust. This was the beginning of the largest coordinated takedown in federal history. A $2 billion network hidden behind agricultural shipments. A pipeline stretching from Shanghai to Sinaloa to the streets of America. If you want the full truth, hit like so this story reaches more people. The first bay revealed the secret. Pallets stacked to the ceiling. Industrial wrapping marked farming equipment. Labels in English and Spanish. Nothing appeared suspicious. An agent tore through the first layer. Beneath the fertilizer packaging lay something else. Rows of tightly wrapped packages. White powder. Crystal shards. Compressed bricks. Agents counted in silence as the numbers grew. 362 kilograms of fentanyl powder. Enough to kill 181 million people. 68 kilograms of methamphetamine. Street value $3.7 million. 45 kilograms of cocaine. Another $1.8 million. This was not minor trafficking. This was industrial-scale poison distribution. The warehouse stretched deeper than anyone expected. Bay after bay concealed identical shipments. Hydraulic lifts hidden beneath false floors. Double-layered walls containing vacuum-sealed contraband. Encrypted tablets tracking shipments across 6 countries. The operation ran like a Fortune 500 company. Command centers with satellite uplinks. Rotating driver schedules to avoid pattern detection. Shell companies channeling payments through Caribbean banks. Every detail calculated. Every risk minimized. An agent lifted a tablet from a hidden safe. The screen displayed ledgers written in Mandarin. Purchase orders. Chemical formulas. Shipping manifests linking Illinois to Culiacan, Mexico. The supply chain didn't start at the border. It originated 7,000 miles away in Asia. This wasn't just about drugs. This was global commerce in death. Comment exposed below if you believe the truth matters. By 6:43 a.m., 26 suspects sat in federal custody. Drivers, warehouse managers, financial coordinators, each facing conspiracy charges, money laundering, and for the first time in Illinois history, material support of a foreign terrorist organization. The Sinaloa Cartel had been officially designated. That changed everything. Sentences jumped from 20 years to life. Asset seizures became permanent. Diplomatic pressure intensified. The legal framework shifted from law enforcement to national security. Special Agent Rebecca Lance stood in the mobile command center studying a digital map. Red dots appeared across the screen. Chicago, St. Louis, Phoenix, Houston, each representing a coordinated warrant executed simultaneously. "We've severed an artery," she said quietly. "But this is an entire circulatory system." Investigators had been tracking one name for 4 years. A logistics coordinator in O'Fallon whose encrypted messages connected to dozens of warehouses. A routine traffic stop in 2021 became a federal investigation spanning 2 continents. The tablet revealed more than anyone anticipated. Chemical suppliers in Shanghai. Transportation brokers in Panama. Money launderers in Miami. Financial analysts in Toronto. A network operating in 40 countries. Revenue exceeding $2 billion since 2021. This was not a cartel. This was a multinational corporation. The lead agent received a secure call from Washington. Offshore intercept confirmed. 1,300 barrels seized in the Philippine Sea. Origin Shanghai. Destination Mazatlan. The supply chain was breaking in real time. Type yes if you're ready to see how deep this goes. By 9:30 a.m., the Illinois yard had returned to silence. Empty pallets. Tire tracks in frost. The hiss of cooling engines. Evidence trucks rolled toward the federal depot under military escort. Steel containers labeled industrial solvents. Raw precursor chemicals that would never reach Mexico's laboratories. But the screens in Washington told a different story. The DEA drug enforcement hub pulsed with live data feeds. Arizona, California, Texas, Guatemala, Panama, Shanghai. Markers representing facilities connected to the Illinois warehouse. Operation Take Back America had just gone global. Within the first hour, agents in 40 countries received a single directive. Seize, disrupt, Arrest. By nightfall, 617 suspects were in custody. One of the largest synchronized takedowns in DEA history. The numbers were staggering. 40 nations, 23 domestic regions, 7 international zones, all moving in unison. A commander called it a borderless global hunt. At the port of Houston, a different operation unfolded. Federal agents surrounded shipping containers at Dock 17. The manifest listed agricultural cleaners bound for Veracruz. Customs officers broke the seals. Inside stood thousands of chemical barrels. The serial numbers matched those recovered in Illinois. 300,000 kilograms of methamphetamine precursor chemicals. The largest seizure in U.S. history. Enough raw material to produce $569 million worth of finished product. 24 tractor trailers needed to haul it away. The chemicals originated in China. The destination was the Sinaloa Cartel's laboratories in Mexico. Without these barrels, production would halt. Millions of doses would never reach American streets. The network's manufacturing capacity would collapse for months. Share this so more people understand what's at stake. At 10:47 a.m., a U.S. Navy destroyer intercepted a cargo vessel in the Philippine Sea. The ship had been flagged by satellite for an irregular route. The bill of lading listed Shanghai as origin, Mazatlan as destination. Cargo, 1,300 barrels of industrial chemicals. Boarding teams secured the crew within minutes. Chemical specialists confirmed the contents. Precursor chemicals identical to those seized in Houston and Illinois. This was the source. For years, Chinese chemical suppliers had shipped raw materials to Mexican cartels. The network operated through shell companies and falsified manifests. Payments routed through cryptocurrency wallets. A billion-dollar supply chain hidden inside legitimate commerce. The seizure of 1,300 barrels carried more strategic weight than 10 conventional drug busts combined. It cut production at the source. In Mexico City, something unprecedented occurred. Under sustained diplomatic pressure, the Mexican government authorized U.S. surveillance aircraft to operate within its territory. Reconnaissance planes traced trafficking routes from Sinaloa to Sonora. Every shipment, every laboratory, every border truck became a target. This cooperation was nearly unthinkable 18 months ago. Along the southern corridor, Mexican authorities seized 300 kilograms of methamphetamine and several tons of precursor chemicals near Culiacan. Clear evidence that Washington's pressure was forcing action on both sides of the border. But intercepted messages revealed panic at senior levels. Orders to reroute, shift to new ports, change communication protocols. The battlefield was changing by the hour. Comment your reaction if this shocks you. By midnight, a new signal appeared on the grid. Agent Lance stared at the screen inside the Illinois bunker. An encrypted transmission from a transport brokerage in Bloomington, a facility believed dormant after the morning raids. Someone was still moving product. GPS data showed trucks carrying agricultural minerals rerouted to Gary, Indiana. Vehicles idling for hours at abandoned storage sites near rail junctions. Each stop matched coordinates previously used by the Illinois group. The network never stopped. It fractured. It adapted. At 2:30 a.m., a surveillance drone locked onto a truck entering a storage yard. Thermal imaging revealed 5 heat signatures inside. Far too many for a night shift. FBI and Homeland Security deployed a joint intercept team. Armored vehicles moved in with headlights dark, engines humming low. When agents opened the truck doors, they expected empty pallets. Instead, they found industrial packaging streaked with chemical residue. Forensic scans confirmed it. Traces identical to the precursor barrels seized in the Pacific Intercept. The network was regenerating. Investigators discovered something beneath the warehouse floor. A tunnel, wide enough to move bulk shipments, connecting to an abandoned 1950s rail line. A hidden corridor bypassing customs surveillance entirely. Illinois to Great Lakes ports. Undetected. Inside the tunnel, agents recovered a safe, digital wallets, routing logs, forged driver credentials. The ledgers told a stark truth. 12 shipments remained, each valued in tens of millions. The network still controlled nearly $2 billion in pending operations. Hit like if you believe this needs to be stopped. At dawn, Agent Lance briefed Washington. The Illinois network hasn't collapsed, she said. It's evolving. We're fighting software now, not just smuggling. Screens filled with a web of shell companies. Cash flows concealed through cryptocurrency hubs in Miami, Toronto, and Panama City. For every digital wallet shut down, another appeared within hours. Near Lake Michigan, a drone captured containers bearing fake barcodes, identical to those from the O'Fallon yard. The network's logistics never stopped, regenerating like self-healing code. Washington activated Directive 27 Bravo. Federal cyber units were authorized to strike the organization's communications grid. Within hours, digital strike teams penetrated encrypted servers in Mexico. What they uncovered was staggering. Routing protocols, payment ledgers, geotagged images of U.S. infrastructure, power substations, fuel depots, rural highway nodes tied to federal drone surveillance. These weren't random smuggling records. They were target dossiers. The network was doing more than moving drugs. It was mapping critical American infrastructure. The realization chilled every analyst in the room. This had transformed from drug enforcement into an intelligence war. At the Pentagon, senior analysts convened with DEA Global. If the network's reach ran this deep, the next confrontation wouldn't happen at the border. At 6 a.m., a federal directive flashed across secure channels. Shift to Theta Threat Protocol. Prepare for military coordination. The drug war had become a national security operation. Type justice if you support these agents. At 7:45 a.m., alarms erupted inside the Illinois bunker. The unidentified red dot resolved to Chicago's West Side transportation hub, coordinates leading to a rail logistics center abandoned for nearly a decade. Within minutes, FBI SWAT, Homeland Security, and federal cyber units converged on the site. The air was heavy with diesel fumes and biting frost. High-altitude drone feed revealed trucks parked behind locked gates. Engines warm. No drivers in sight. The breach team sliced through the gate with torches. Floodlights exposed a digital control hub concealed beneath tarps. Satellite uplinks. Routers. Cold wallets streaming cryptocurrency in real time. This was the network's domestic command node, embedded in the heart of American industry. Technicians froze as data flooded their screens. They're linking to offshore stations in 30 seconds. Rerouting funds. Agent Lance barked the order. Cut the grid. Power dropped. Screens went black. The facility fell silent. At the yard's edge, a faint signal led agents to a container. Inside lay a hard drive etched with the Sinaloa Cartel emblem. Proof the network was still defiant. Still present. The network conceded defeat, but vowed to rebuild. Share this video before it gets buried. By 10 a.m., the Illinois hub was dismantled. Evidence trucks rolling out under military escort. At a press conference, the Attorney General announced the results. $2 billion in drug revenue eradicated. 617 suspects in custody. Supply chain from Asia to the Midwest severed. Reporters fell silent, sensing the weight of the moment. But the agents knew the truth. The battle was won. The war continued. Prosecutors began shaping a new legal doctrine, treating cartel leaders as national security threats rather than ordinary criminals. Expanded surveillance authority. Military backing for interceptions. Life sentences for financiers and brokers. The boundary between law enforcement and counterterrorism was blurring. In the Justice Department briefing room, the Attorney General called it a crippling strike against the infrastructure poisoning America's streets. The rhetoric signaled a turning point. The United States no longer framed these organizations as businesses. They were now targets of a war-level response. As dusk settled over Washington, screens streamed live feeds from Illinois, Mexico, and the Pacific. Every container opened. Every suspect processed. Every ledger decrypted marked a small victory. The network had quietly taken root over a decade. Tonight, those roots began to fracture. Yet an analyst noticed something unsettling. A new signal emerging from the Midwest, encrypted with an unfamiliar code. Someone was still moving product through a channel the feds hadn't identified. Comment stop them if you want justice. The operation revealed uncomfortable truths. From ordinary warehouses to concealed tunnels, the Sinaloa cartel operated with the precision of a global enterprise. This wasn't border smuggling. This was transnational crime threatening national security. The lesson is unmistakable. Awareness and international coordination are essential to dismantling these underground systems. Every citizen must recognize this fight isn't solely for law enforcement. It requires community vigilance, detection before regeneration, action before the next shipment crosses the border. From a single warehouse in Illinois to coordinated global raids, America disrupted a $2 billion network, arrested hundreds, cut the flow of poison from Asia to the streets. But the fight isn't over. The network adapts. It hides in shadows. It waits for the next opportunity. This is only the beginning. What's your take on these operations? Are they enough to keep the country safe? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Hit subscribe so you don't miss what happens next. Share this story so more people understand what's really happening. If you believe justice is worth fighting for, comment justice below. Together, we can make a difference. But only if we stay vigilant. Only if we refuse to look away. The network is watching. The question is, are you?